Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna be giving you guys an update about Big Brother NAIJA Pepper Dem season 4. Um the season is almost over. I think we have 2 weeks, or I think, yeah, 2 weeks left in the season till the grand finale, until when someone is gonna be crowned the winner of this year's BB NAIJA, and the winner is also gonna take home the money. Right now in the house, there are 10 housemates in the house, and last week there was a ultimate veto challenge. So yesterday, the winner of the ultimate veto challenge was announced, which was Fraud, and the veto power. What it does is that you're gonna nominate five housemates who you want to be up for eviction in the 13th week. That is this week. Before that happened, there was a live nomination, which every housemate went into the diary room and selected two housemates they want to be up for eviction this week. After the process was complete, the housemates that were up for eviction were asked to stand up. Then a Big Brother, told the house that Fraud, as the ultimate veto, winner, you have the power to nullify the nominations tonight and pick five housemates of your choosing who you want to be up for eviction. And he was allowed to pick any housemate aside from Mercy, because she bought immunity, and Seyi because he won the head of house challenge, which comes with immunity. Fraud nominated Ike, Mike, Tasha, Cindy, Eluzona, and Mike. So they're all up for eviction this week. So we don't know how many people will be evicted, but since there are 10 housemates, I think at least three housemates will be leaving, because normally the Big Brother tradition is always top five, the top five that are left in the house. The winner will be crowned, and there'll be a runner up, and the rest of the three housemates will come on stage exactly the same day that the winner is going to be announced. So the five housemates left will make it to the finale, but only one is going to win. So, yeah. So moving on. I'm going to give you a quick update about the current dynamic in the house. Yesterday, Ibuka, called out Tasha for, yelling at Diane over her leaving the box in the arena. And Tasha was not the only one yelling, but, you know, I think Ibuka called her out because, number one, I think she's the most talked about housemate, so it was bound to happen. Plus, I think her voice was the loudest among everybody's voice. And in addition to that, Diane actually went up to her face, and I think Diane poked her eye or something. So the situation escalated. So I think Ibuka, you know, had to do what he did, and he asked everybody about their feelings about what happened. Then they also spoke about, the robe situation with Omashola and Tasha, and they explained what caused the fight and stuff like that. Basically, bottom line is that robes came, and Tasha has two robes, and she put in two robes, so she took one. Omashola couldn't find his, so he went and collected one. And anyways, one thing led to another, and it became an argument. But Omashola pointed out later on that after they yelled at each other, and after the screaming match was over, they both went ahead and still worked together. And Tasha actually called him to apologize, and they talked shit out, and they talked everything out. And Omashola also mentioned that, Tasha is not the kind of person that holds grudges. And me, myself, Omashola, I'm not that kind of person either. So anytime me and Tasha fight, we understand each other. That's why it never exceeds the fight. And once it's over, it's over. So, that was settled. Now, Mercy bought immunity, and all the housemates know that she bought immunity. And she used Ike's coins. Ike had 1,000 Bet Naija coins, which he gave to her. She had 900 Bet Naija coin on her own, and she asked Mike to give her 100 Bet Naija coin. So Mike struck a deal, and Mike said, take the coins, and I'll take one of your pictures. That's the picture they gave them for the ultimate veto challenge stuff that will tell them if they won or not. So that was the trade. You give me one picture and I give you the coins. So the trade happened and Mercy went ahead and bought the immunity. So that was done. And the sad thing about this situation is, even though my Ike, who is Mercy's boyfriend in the house, I think they're in a relationship or something. If Ike did not give Mercy her coin, there was a high possibility that Ike would probably not have been nominated for eviction this week, because most of the housemates nominated Mercy and just a couple nominated Ike. And even though the veto challenge was going to happen, I think Frodd will have picked Mercy, because I think Frodd would like to target Mercy before Ike. And that's because Mercy is kind of the reason why Frodd and Ike are not as close as they used to be. You know, Mercy's always saying that, Frodd is kind of acts like a woman. He nags too much. He complains too much. So they don't really get along and they bump heads. And on Frodd's side of the story, in his defense, he kind of thinks that Mercy is manipulative and she always instigates stuff and she's using Ike. And I think ever since, he found that out, him and Omashola mentioned this. Ever since he found that out, him and Ike, their relationship kind of went sour. Another reason why their relationship went sour is because when Ike had the veto power to save and replace someone, Frodd expected Ike to save him, but instead he saved Omashola. So Frodd has been salty ever since then. So I think that is another reason why he put up Frodd to be nominated this week. And Frodd is the kind of person that he kind of acts on, impulse, and is kind of a sentimental guy. Because if you think about it, if we're talking about strategic picking, Omashola will be part of that list because Omashola is a strong competitor. He will have picked Omashola instead of Cindy or Omashola instead of Elo. But he didn't pick Omashola for whatever reason. But I think it was sentiment, and most of the housemates also pointed that out, because it was kind of like a tick for tat situation, especially in the case of Ike. Then Tacha, him and Tacha kind of had an altercation this morning, and I think that's just you know put her on the hit list. But we all know Tasha. Tasha is not gonna suck up to you. Once she has a problem, she's gonna air it out and put you on blast. Even though she does blow things out of proportion, but that's just how she reacts to things. So I think that's the reason why Frodd put Tasha up. In the case of Mike, I think because he has always complained that Mike kind of bullies him, and Mike finds a way to maneuver around the house and try to act like a good guy when he's not, and trying to mask who he really is. So, and Ford always mentioned that he felt like Mike always targets him. So I think that's what kept Mike on the chopping block as well. Now Elozonam once won the veto power, and when he won the veto power, I think he saved Vernita and he replaced Vernita with Frodd. And Frodd wasn't too happy about that. So that's the reason why, Frodd put up Elizonam, because of kind of like I've gotten you back now, especially now that is the most crucial part of the game, the 13th week. Because imagine being in the game from the beginning to this very moment, and a week before the grand finale, you go home. I feel like that's the saddest eviction in the history of Big Brother. It's always the person that leaves a week before the finale that'll feel it the most, because you were right there. You almost made it. So that's the case. Now, Ike. I mean, I like Ike. I like Ike and Mrs. relationship. But I feel like, you know, Ike came into this house, and he clearly came into this house with a game plan. He has always mentioned that he's all about the money, he's all about that bread. He's not gonna let anything, stop his bag. But that's not the case with his actions. He allowed Mercy to, put Mercy's game before his game. And I know everybody's saying they love each other, but at the same time, you came into this house alone and you're gonna leave alone, period. And you came into this house and you have a family that you left behind. You didn't come to this house to spend 3 months and be in someone else's shadow. You didn't come to this house to come and be somebody's puppet or to do the person's dirty work. And that is exactly what Ike has done in this house. Even though he has made friends, he has made genuine alliances, but I just feel like the game he played was he kind of sabotaged himself, kind of like a voluntary exit. Because if he kept that his 1,000 coins, if Ike wanted to get 1,000 coins later and get immunity, he could, because he has a way with words and people kind of like him in the house. And another thing is, with Mercy and Ike, Mercy knows quite well that Ike's fan base is not as strong as hers. We all know that. Mercy knows that if she's up for eviction this week, her fan base and her team, they're gonna save her, no doubt about it. But Ike being up, there's a chance he's going home, because Ike has only been up, I think, like twice. So his fan base haven't really had the chance to, vote for him that well. He doesn't really know the weight he carries, you know? And that is the case here. I feel like if he told Mercy that, oh, Mercy, you know what? You know that you are the queen of highlights. You know that, you and Tasha are the top girls in this house. And you know that whatever happens, if you're up for eviction this week, your team, they're going to save you. That's 100%. But with me, there's a good chance that I'm going home. Because right now, Ike is up against the top dogs, Tasha and Mike. The Titans go hard, The Titans, they found a way to top the charts every week. I think Tasha has not didn't top the charts for just two nominations, and the difference was less than 1%. You know, so if chances are, let's say for instance, it's Mike, Tasha, and Ike, and one person is going on, it's Ike without a doubt. And everybody keeps saying, Mercy's fan base will vote for him. Yeah, they will, but not as much as they will vote for her, not as much as his own fan base will vote for him. Because at the end of the day, Team Mercy, they're only looking out for number one. They're not going to say, oh, okay, let's dedicate, this week to voting for Ike. As much as we want to wish that is true, it isn't. Because they're gearing up for the finale. They're gearing up for, another eviction, another the finale, where the stakes are extremely, extremely high. So this week, they're going to use this week to rest. And even if they vote for Ike, what they're going to do is just pass him by voting. Like, okay, one person give him 10 votes just because of Mercy, but not like dedicating, their week to voting for him strictly. They're not going to do that, honestly. They're not. No matter how much they say, oh, Mercy loves him, Mercy loves him, I feel like Mercy saw an opportunity and she took advantage of it. And I don't blame her for that. She's trying to get ahead in the game. And obviously, she knows that if she didn't buy that immunity, she'll probably be up right now, because almost everybody nominated her. And in the 13th week, where the stakes are high, you don't want to be on that nomination list with Tasha and Mike. You just don't want to be there. And I feel like Mercy sensed it. That's why she was in such a hurry to buy immunity. Because Tasha had enough to buy immunity. Frodd had enough to buy immunity. And I get that Mercy beat them to it, but they could have if they wanted to. They didn't, because they know they have a fan base. They know they're not worried that their fans will vote for them. And that's just the truth. But Mercy, she doesn't want to take any chances whatsoever. So, let's just see how it goes. On Sunday, we're going to find out, who is going to go home. But I think at least 3 housemates will go home, if not 4. But, if we can't really predict it, but based on what we've been seeing from the beginning of this show to this very moment, I think everybody has, laid out who carries what, and what fans vote more than what fans, everybody knows their standing. Everybody knows where they are in the game, where their contestant and housemate is in the game. They all have their slots already, So let's just pray for Ike, because honestly, what he did this week was a bad move. I feel like, he put his team in jeopardy. Because imagine being in Ike's team and you're voting, you're the one handling his Instagram page, and you realize that, everything Ike is doing is not for his game, it's for someone else. His team, they have no choice but to go along with it. They're not going to say, oh, we know that Mercy's using him, let's still push him without Mercy outside his house. Nah, they go together, because you're going to follow what your housemate does, even though you know that, oh, I want him to cut his ties with this girl because I'm focused on his own game. But you can't do that because you go along with what your housemate is doing, and that's just how it is. So, but, all I like to say is, good luck to all the housemates, and good luck to all the females and all the men. And I guess all we can say is, may the best man or woman win. I always say this because at the end of the day, this show is survival for the fittest at this point. 30 million naira is on the line. A car is on the line. There are so many things on the line. People have sacrificed so much for each housemate to be where they are right now. And this is crunch time, because 14th week is going to be brutal. I know that for a fact. Because this season of Big Brother, the heavy hitters here are like two fan bases put together. For instance, Tasha's fan base is like Ify and Miracle's fan base put together. Mike's fan base is like one of the housemen. So they all have the percentage of people that are voting this year just keeps getting higher by the day. And Big Brother keeps making that his money, keeps making his paper. But I guess we'll see what happens. And like I said, may the best man win. But anyways, guys, comment below, tell me what you think about this story, who you're voting for, who you think will survive this week's eviction. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video and share it if you care. Thank you for watching, and until next time.